culture and the way we grow up. And if you grow up in different cultures, you have different understandings of what it means to be you, what it means to be who you are. And when you meet someone from another culture, there oftentimes is confusion, misunderstanding. A second major message here, of course, is the idea that we see the world through our eyes, don't we? And of course, the world we see is not always the same world somebody else sees. Did you notice early on how the use of the word ghosts is going to be a compelling usage in this text? Also, did you notice the way in which she looked at the young men who were leaving and were about to go to the Vietnam War, and then reminding herself of her own son, who was, of course, enlisted and maybe probably drafted. She said, I wanted him to go to Canada, but instead he went, which tells you that he had tremendous patriotism to go and fight in Vietnam. A third message here, of course, has to do with relationships within families. Sisters, for example, who have not seen each other for 30 years. And the ways in which family members can be gone from each other for long periods of time and then can reconnect. And when they reconnect right away, it can bring up all of the old kinds of patterns of behavior. Notice the very last line is that she could still get annoyed with her sister's silliness even 30 years later. In other words, the more things change, the more they remain the same. The more people change, the more people remain the same. At 2B, the rhetoric level, we can already point out this is a memoir. It's a reflection on a moment in life, we might say. Of course, we've also got some very interesting symbolism in play here. The use of the word ghosts is a compelling one, right? The ways in which you can have this exchange that suggests that there's different ways of seeing the world and culture. That is as well going to be a powerful symbol in this reading. Let's jump to level 3 really quickly and the ways in which this is a text for us that we maybe can relate to. At 3A, what is for you the text of all texts that has to do with parents and family and sisters and the ways in which maybe some of those family members have been separated but now are coming back together? Do you have a text that you're reminded of where that happens? Maybe in a movie, maybe in a TV show. What is for you the text of all texts that has to do with the differences between cultures and understanding those cultures? Or maybe misunderstanding those cultures? Do you have a song that comes to mind for you that has something to do with that culture contact and the challenges of culture contact? What is for you your favorite brothers or sisters psalm? In other words, it has something to do with the ways brothers or sisters have to get along. What about getting old? It's interesting how people who get old often will point out to others, you are old. But notice the younger sister is saying to the older sister, you are old, and the younger sister is saying, what are you talking about? I'm a year younger than you are. You are old. Let's jump to 3B really quickly and ask about how you can relate to a title like this. Have you been away from someone in your family for a while and then come back to be reunited? And do you have any sense of what that was like? Why do you think it's sometimes hard to be away from family members? And how will you live with being away from family members for periods of time? This is a question that you maybe want to write down and consider. Within your family, if you have a very close-knit family, do you imagine that as you guys get older, that you will separate from your brothers or sisters, from your family members, your mom, your dad, your guardian? Do you have a sense that you're going to grow up and grow older close to them or far away from them? If you could choose, which one would you choose and why? Would you prefer to grow up and grow old close to the people you grew up with or far away from the people you grew up with? If you are not close to your family members, and you, for example, have already said, the first thing I will do when I graduate from high school is to get far away from them, do you have a sense that there will be a moment like this where, for example, you could stay away for 30 years from a brother or sister and then be reunited? And do you have any sense of kind of what that will be like for you? Finally, I don't know if you've seen this online, but you can do these software programs where they will take a photograph of you. Have you seen these? And then they will age you on the software. They will tell you what you would look like at 50, what you would look like at 60, at 70, at 80. If you haven't seen this kind of software, it's available where you can kind of age, and they'll show you what you grow old looking like. Can you speculate on this for a second? How do you think you're going to grow old? What do you think will be the major thing about you that will change as you get older? Jot down what you think that will be for you. Do you imagine that as you grow older, you will know that you're growing older? The people that you live with, the adults that you live with, sometimes this is an interesting question. Do you feel like you're getting older? And if they go, you bet I do, ask them, how do you feel like you're getting older? In what way? Like the way you look, the way you feel, the way you think? What will it be like to grow older? Well, there you go, an introduction to a text that I hope that you maybe will pick up and read the entirety of, The Woman Warrior by Maxine called Kingston. Thank you.